Today I want to show you how you can use dynamic pipelines to substitute variables like image name or a pipe name in your pipeline, thanks to dynamic pipelines. The repository I'm showing you here is a Forge app, and you can use it as is and install it on your workspace to achieve what I'm going to present today. In this repository, I have my dynamic pipeline already set up, and this is called Replace Variables in Pipeline Configuration. In this example, I set up the pipeline directly at the repository level, but you could also set it up at the workspace level. As you can see from this screen, this has not been done for this case, but I could just be doing that by following this link. If we have a look at the pipeline that is defined on this repository, we can see that we have a variable defined in two places. So one of them is the image name, and this is used as a tag, and the script name here. If you run this without a dynamic pipeline, this will return an error because the image tag cannot be replaced. Let's see what happens if we run it with our dynamic pipeline set up. So let's run this pipeline, and we select default here and run the pipeline. We can see that the variable is resolved. In this case, it's 20. And we can also check the pipeline that has been generated by the dynamic pipeline by checking the configuration here. So we can see 20 has been replaced both in the image name and in the script. And because I've been using the tunnel while developing my Forge app, I can also see the following logs. So I can see the original pipeline that still contains the variables, and the variables resolved in the updated pipeline. So this is the result of the dynamic pipeline Forge app running on my pipeline. The app has been using the variable defined at the workspace level, but this app can also substitute variables defined at the repository and at the deployment environment level. Let's see what happens if we want to use the repository variable instead. This one has not been used for the replacement as it's not exactly the same name. But if I now go in and use the same name, which was image tag, and go back to my pipeline and run it again, we can already see in the configuration that the new tag has been replaced. And this is because the precedence order for the variables is workspace first and then repository. So the repository variable takes precedence over the workspace one. We can see now that the echo is 22. And we can check that in the dynamically generated pipeline as well. So the configuration here shows us a 22 for the image tag and in the script. And that's because the repository variable takes precedence over the workspace one. And if you want to use this app to substitute variables in your own repositories and workspaces, all what you have to do is take this app, clone it, and run it in Forge. And I've created a few different examples here in case you want to change the logic and not just use the default precedence method. The one I'm using right now and the one that most of you will probably use is this one. So the 03 all levels variable substitution, which substitutes all the levels of variables. So workspace, repository, and deployment environment. So let me show you how you can install this app on your own. So let's remove the pipeline from here and save. And because I have it installed, I also need to uninstall it. But you will not need to do this if it's the first time using this app. So let me uninstall it. So, and as you can see, I'm in the folder called 03C all levels variable substitution. This is where my app is available. All what I have to do here is to run a Forge register. So Forge register will associate this app to my account. And now I can deploy it. And before I reinstall it, I want to show you that the app is not available anymore here. So we only have another one. So let me reinstall it now. And I can do that by running the Forge install command and specifying Bitbucket and entering my workspace. If I refresh the page again, I will see our replace variables from all places in pipeline configuration. Let me save it. And now what I want to do is I want to show you a Forge tunnel. So running the Forge tunnel is very useful when you are testing your app or when you are developing it. So I'm running the tunnel again. So let me see what happens here. So we can see here that our pipeline is being triggered, and in the original version it's showing us the image tag unresolved, and then in the updated one we can see the version number, the image tag version here as 22. This is just one example of what is possible with dynamic pipelines. We have other videos about this feature, and there is also a blog here that I'm going to share with you in the links about the functionalities and what we've seen other implementing with this. So hopefully you enjoy it, and let us know if you have any feedback. Bye!